All right, good morning, everyone. I hereby convene the November 18th, 2024 hearing of the Santa Barbara County Zoning Administrator. My name's Linda Liu, and I'll be the zoning administrator for today's hearing, and Mr. Jonathan Martin will be clerking. This hearing will be conducted under the provisions of the Ralph M. Brown Act, Open Meeting Law, as well as the provisions of California Planning Law and the Santa Barbara County Code. We have 2 items on today's agenda. The clerk will read each item into the record, and I will announce any ex parte communications. I'll then get comments from the case planner, followed by the applicant or the applicant's agent, and then I will get comments from the public. Anyone who wishes to testify should use their raise hand feature if testifying remotely, or submit a speaker slip to the clerk. All right, our first portion of our agenda is for the general public to provide comment. This period gives the public an opportunity to comment on matters that are not on today's agenda. Mr. Martin, do we have any requests to speak on this?
We have received no letters for today's hearing.
All right, then we are ready to proceed with our standard agenda.
Okay, item number 1, 23 MOD-00016, Resiliency Trust Setback Modification and Guest House. Hearing on the request of Natalie Aragno, agent for the owner of the Resiliency Trust. I'm sorry, I'm going to butcher this. Ekaterina Klementova, trustee, to consider case numbers 23 MOD-00016 and 24 CDP-00127, and to determine the project is exempt pursuant to sections 15302 of the state guidelines for implementation of the California Environmental Quality Act.
Thank you very much, Mr. Martin. I do not have any ex parte communications to announce. Mr. Connor, are you ready to proceed?
Yes.
All right, you're on.
Okay. As in the staff report, this project's a request for a side yard setback modification and a coastal development permit to allow construction of a 950 gross square foot guest house in the same general location as an existing 914 gross square foot ag employee dwelling, which is to be demolished. This has somewhat of a history as far as, we've worked through iterations of what was allowable under the code, and the applicant wanted to build a guest house, and this location would, I guess, have less damage than creating a new location. So that's why they wanted to put it in this location. I guess that's it. If you have any more questions.
All right, thank you very much, Mr. Connor. Is the agent, I don't know which one wants to speak, the one online or the one, if you want to come up to the podium, please state your name for the record.
You're all good.
Hi, my name's William Hefner. Natalie Arano and I are the applicants for this project that we're submitting to you. And it's, as Steve was saying, it's a replacement of an existing guest facility that's on the site. It was built in the 30s, and it has settlement, foundation, major foundation issues, framing issues, et cetera. And so we're replacing it in this location. The reasons we're putting in the same location as the old one is there's a septic system that's dedicated to it that's functional. And other locations on the site would require much more grading, and we're trying to avoid doing additional grading in this area. Additionally, besides the side yard setbacks, the part where we're located is surrounded by a large landscape easement. So our actual, and which is for perpetuity, this large landscape easement. So really our actual setback to the neighboring sort of fence or whatever is like 25 feet. So it's, it doesn't have impact, and it's not visible from any surrounding properties, even the property that adjoins us, because their house is up on the hill and set way back. So anyway, we think it has no impact for the neighborhood.
Thank you very much, Mr. Hefner. I don't know if that means Ms. Aragno.
Would you like to add anything, Natalie?
No, I don't need to add anything. Thank you.
All right, thank you very much. Mr. Martin, do we have any requests to speak for this item?
We have received no comment letters for this item, and we have nobody in our attendees call.
All right, great. Mr. Connor, have you received any comments or concerns from any of the neighbors during any of the BAR hearings or anything like that?
Yes, we did have one neighbor that requested to see the plans at one point. month or two ago, and I believe that same neighbor showed up at the BAR, and it sounded like they weren't really supportive of the project. They said it was a monstrosity, I think, to quote them. But otherwise, when they came to view the plans, they seemed to have their questions answered, and they didn't, at that point, didn't seem like they were opposed to the project, but it sounded a little bit different in the last BAR meeting.
So you have not heard from that neighbor since?
I have not heard a follow-up since that.
All right, great. And then just so that I'm fully understanding the project, there is already another ag employee dwelling on the property, and that's going to remain as an ag employee dwelling? Is that, Mr. Hefner, do you know?
Yes, so there is attached to a barn, there's an existing dwelling that we're making the ag unit.
So that's going to remain?
Yes.
Okay. All right, then I don't have any further questions. Mr. Connor, Mr. Hefner, thank you for being here.
Thank you.
I'll go ahead and close out the public hearing for this item, and I'll make the required findings for this project as specified in Attachment A of the staff report, including the CEQA findings. I do determine that this project is exempt from CEQA pursuant to CEQA Guidelines Section 15302, included as Attachment C of the staff report, and I approve this project 24 MOD 00016 and 24 CDP 00127, subject to the conditions of approval included as Attachment B of the staff report. Thank you very much, Mr. Connor. Mr. Hefner, thank you for being here. Ms. Aragno, thank you.
Thank you.
All right, Mr. Martin, next item, please.
Okay, item number 2, 24 LLA-00003, Bryan Lot Line Adjustment. Hearing on the request of Droyan Bryan to consider case number 24 LLA-00003 and to determine the project is exempt from the environmental review pursuant to section 15305 of the state guidelines for implementation of the California Environmental Quality Act, CEQA.
Thank you very much, Mr. Martin. I don't have any ex parte communications to announce. Mr. Vargas, are you ready to proceed?
Good morning, Ms. Liu. My name is Francisco Vargas, County Planner, presenting the Burn Lot Line Adjustment Project. This project consists of 2 parcels located at 850 Torno Road and 841 Mission Canyon Road within the Mission Community Planning Area in Santa Barbara. Both parcels are zoned 20R1 and each contain existing residential development. No additional development is proposed with this application. The lot line adjustment is a request to adjust one common lot line between the 2 legal lots. Existing parcel 1, which is APN 023-180-032, contains an existing residence, and existing parcel 2, which is APN 023-180-040, contains an existing residence and a detached legal nonconforming residential accessory structure. Both parcels meet the required minimum parcel size of 20,000 square feet. Existing parcel 1 is approximately 27,900 square feet, and existing parcel 2 is approximately 44,000 square feet. The lot line adjustment will transfer approximately 5,200 square feet from parcel 2 to parcel 1. So the adjusted parcel sizes will be as follows. Parcel 1 will increase to approximately 33,100 square feet, and adjusted parcel 2 will decrease to approximately 38,800 square feet. As previously mentioned and as indicated in the staff report and attachments, both parcels will continue to meet the required minimum parcel size of 20,000 square feet. The project was reviewed by the Subdivision Review Development Committee, and there were no comments received other than minor clarification questions from the surveyor's office, which were addressed by the applicant. Staff recommends that you take the following actions: make the required findings for approval, determine the project is exempt from environmental review, and approve the lot line adjustment project. This concludes my presentation, and I'm happy to answer any questions. Thank you.
Thank you very much, Mr. Vargas. Mr. Martin, do we have any requests to speak on this item?
We have received no letters and no requests to speak on this item.
All right, and is the applicant or the applicant agents here? If you want to come up to the podium, please state your name for the record.
Good morning. My name is Druyan Byrne. So basically, the purpose of this adjustment is our family currently lives on parcel 2, and we're in the process of selling that parcel and moving into parcel 1. So that's going to be our new home. Now, before we made the sale, we wanted to do the lot line adjustment because directly adjacent to the conjoined property line between the two parcels, there is a swale. And this swale exists on parcel 2 currently. And that accepts the rain runoff from the hill up above us. And if that is not maintained properly every year and sometimes several times during the year, the water will begin to flood onto parcel 1, which is going to be our new home. So rather than trusting the new owners, whoever buys parcel 2, that they would maintain this, even though it doesn't really affect them, we decided that we would like to take enough of the land to be able to maintain it. We probably will have to build a retaining wall, that kind of stuff, in order to stop maintain the swale and keep the flooding from happening on parcel 1.
All right. Thank you very much, Mr. Byrne. Mr. Vargas, did we receive any questions or concerns from any neighbors during this review process?
So we did receive some correspondence from a neighbor who asked to remain anonymous, expressing concerns about recent private events at 850 Torno Road, which is parcel 1. And however, no formal complaint was filed. And we did confirm with Mr. Byrne that they intend to live on parcel 1, and there are no plans to rent it on a short-term basis or host any events moving forward.
All right, great. Thank you very much, Mr. Vargas. I don't have any further questions for you. And Mr. Martin, you confirmed there are no requests to speak on this? All right, then I will go ahead and close out the hearing for this item. And I'll go ahead and make the required findings for this project as specified in attachment A of the staff report, including the CEQA findings. Do determine that this project is exempt from CEQA pursuant to CEQA guidelines section 15305, included as attachment C of the staff report. And I do approve this project, case number 24 LLA 0003, subject to the conditions of approval included as attachment B of the staff report. Thank you very much, Mr. Byrne, for being here. Mr. Vargas, thank you.
Thank you, everyone. Take care.
Thank you. All right, Mr. Martin, I believe that concludes our hearing for the day.
It does. Thank you so
All
much.
right, thank you.
Short day.